Hello, my name is Dr. Mary Washington. I am a kidney specialist. I have been practicing for over 15 years, and it saddens me because I have to place so many women on dialysis.
Listen to my flow, it's about your life. Words for your children, husband or wife.
I'm a woman myself. I'm talking to you as if you're my sisters, as if you are my mother. I do not enjoy doing this. Most of these diseases that exist in this country are preventable. I use this symbol because it is a feminine principle. The justice symbol is used in law. Why? What is the first thing that a child, whether it's a boy or a girl, looks to? It looks to you, the mother, the woman. You're the teacher, you're the educator, you're the instructor. That's why this symbol is a feminine principle. You, by your actions, are teaching your family how to be healthy, whether it's going to the grocery store, what you bring into your home, how you prepare your food. You are justice. What we're going to do is discuss your body. You'll hear a lot of experts say the anatomy, but it's going to be me describing how your body works, and we'll start from the head down to the reproductive system. I'm going to start with the area in your brain. It's called a pituitary gland. This sits in the base of your skull. This pituitary gland has an anterior part and a posterior part. The anterior part actually is the front part of the pituitary gland. The posterior part is actually the back part of the pituitary gland. I'll talk with the front part first because it's going to release a lot of chemicals which we'll call hormones or stimulating hormones, which will go to various parts of your body, your reproductive system, and help make it work. For example, there's the one that goes to your thyroid gland is called a TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. It will go to the thyroid gland in your neck and produce various hormones, T3, T4. You may hear your doctors here talk about that. Or you may even have some doctors that give you prescriptions that are T3 or T4. They will also produce what we call the luteinizing hormone or follicular stimulating hormone. These are the hormones that go down to your ovaries and help produce the eggs, helps with ovulation, which means your egg is being released so that you can have menses or your periods. Also, it produces the estrogen. There's another hormone called ACTH, adrenocorticotropin hormone. This particular hormone goes down to your adrenal glands. These sit above your kidneys. These glands make hormones such as histamine, serotonin. Histamine is what we release when we have allergies, or you may have heard of taking an antihistamine when your allergies are flared up. They also make corticosteroids like cortisol or glucocorticoids. Some of you may have been exposed to prednisone. These are all made from this adrenal gland. Again, this gland sits above your kidneys. These glands also make some male hormones. Yes, we as women also make some androgens, or what we call DHEA. This is a precursor to testosterone. We don't make as much as men, but we make that too. We make also hormones that help us fight or flight when we're under stress. So these hormones, again, are made by this gland that sits above your kidneys. Back part of your pituitary gland is called the posterior pituitary. It makes two hormones. Actually, it really comes from the base of your brain and goes straight into the blood system. And that's called ADH, antidiuretic hormone. That helps control your water balance. In fact, it prevents you from urinating. And the last one that I'd like to discuss is oxytocin. And we as women, that's what we need in order for our uterus to contract when we're delivering our baby, and it also helps with our breast glands to contract to produce milk. Now we'll go down to our breasts. And we know we spend a lot of time on our breasts, from the brassieres that we buy to help pump them up, to even exercising the muscles behind them to make them look all pretty and young looking. But I'm here to tell you that your breast serves an important function, and that is to produce breast milk, which has all the nutrients that your baby needs, because that's why we're called mammals. These are our mammary glands. It has all the amino acids that are needed, all the vitamins that are needed, and even antibodies to help fight off infection. In fact, as far as I'm aware of, we're the only species that feed our babies somebody else's milk. This is what your breasts are used for. They are the first immune system, the first defense weapon that your babies will have, and you need to start using your breast milk for something more wisely. So the next section is the adrenal glands. We've already talked about the pituitary, we talked about the breast. The adrenal glands is what's set above both your kidneys. These glands are the ones that produce your sex hormones, as we stated earlier in the pituitary section. It produces aldosterone, which goes to your kidney and help balance sodium, potassium, water, and therefore control your blood pressure. It also makes the epinephrine, norepinephrine, which are hormones that we use to help us either run when we have a stress situation or fight, because they help increase the blood pressure. After the adrenal glands, we'll go down to the uterus. Now, the uterus is the womb. It's the structure that contains your baby. No, the baby's not in the stomach. There's a whole separate organ that's called the uterus. And this is what's connected to the vagina. Now, let me back up. The uterus is what contains the baby, and during the pregnancy, it increases the volume by making more water. You also increase the blood volume so you can give nutrition to your baby. So with more water, more blood supply, this sometimes can affect your heart as well as your kidneys. But once again, your baby is not in your stomach. It is in your uterus. Your ovaries. Your ovaries are on both sides, right and left. And they actually, if you're on your menstrual cycle, meaning that your uterus that we just discussed is being filled with blood, is getting ready to receive a fertilized egg for pregnancy, what happens is that each month, either right or the left ovary will release an egg. Yes, we are all from fertilized eggs. So the ovaries produce the eggs. It also produces the estrogens and produces the progesterones, so that when that egg leaves that ovary, leave that right side and goes down the fallopian tube, it gets implanted into your uterus. And over the 9 months, the baby is developed. But my point is for you to realize that your ovaries also produce your sex hormones, your estrogens. As we get older, the type of estrogens that we produce will change. Sometimes this is referred to as perimenopause or menopausal. And the levels will change, and then you have some of your symptoms that you hear people describe when they're in their late 40s or early 50s, feeling warm, hot flashes, having insomnia, meaning they can't sleep. They even put up more weight because all the hormone levels change, including the cortisol. And then lastly, the vagina. This is also what your blood passes through when you lose that lining from your uterus. It is also your sex organ, so use it wisely so that you don't get sexually transmitted diseases. And then, of course, the kidneys. I told you I am a kidney doctor, and we would discuss eventually how all of these areas that I mentioned in your body, your anatomy, can affect that organ.
The kidneys, yes, the organ that makes pee. Never thought how your life would change. Never thought it could happen to who? Me? A collection of arteries that cleans your blood. You blocked it with greasy food, like a toilet, they're now clogged. Your stomach tight, can't push you away from the table. Instead of exercising, you rather see what's on cable. It's too hot, you complain to go outside. And even if I exercise, I'm still gonna die. When you had 2 feet, you should've ran or danced, did the electric slide. But with diabetes, they're now cut off. Why? eating salty sausage with fried rice and apple pie. Why they cut my feet off? Too much pork ribs, coleslaw, and barbecue sauce. Listen to my flow. It's about your life. Words for your children, husband or wife.